The assessment captain Maya Chen stared at the massive holographic display that dominated the bridge of the USS Resilient. The anomaly had appeared near Jupiter's orbit just 6 hours ago. A distortion in space, unlike anything their sensors had ever detected before. Now it was growing, expanding into what appeared to be some kind of portal. "All stations, battle readiness," she ordered, her voice steady despite the tension knotting her stomach. As Earth's most advanced warship, the Resilient represented humanity's best defense against whatever was emerging from that swirling vortex. Lieutenant Rivera at Tactical confirmed weapons were hot. "Multiple objects emerging, Captain. Configuration unknown." The bridge fell silent as the first alien vessel emerged. It was beautiful, sleek, and silver with graceful, sweeping lines that reminded Maya of ancient sea creatures. 5 more followed, arranging themselves in a perfect hexagonal formation. "They're hailing us," Communications Officer Park announced, surprise evident in his voice. "The signal is compatible with our systems. They're speaking English." Maya raised an eyebrow. "Put it through." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a humanoid figure with iridescent blue-green skin and large almond-shaped eyes. The alien wore what appeared to be a ceremonial uniform adorned with unfamiliar symbols. "Greetings, vessels of Earth," the alien said, its voice melodic and precisely enunciated. "I am High Emissary Calix of the Valerian Interstellar Commonwealth. We come in peace and with great curiosity about your developing world." Maya straightened her uniform jacket. Somehow, in all the first contact scenarios Earth had practiced, none had prepared her for aliens who arrived speaking perfect English and displaying what seemed like genuine politeness. "This is Captain Maya Chen of the United Earth Defense Force. On behalf of Earth, I welcome you. May I ask how you've come to know our language?" Calix's expression shifted to something Maya interpreted as amusement. "We have observed your transmissions for some time, Captain. A rudimentary but effective means of communication. Your species shows remarkable potential, despite your technological limitations." There it was, the subtle condescension beneath, the diplomatic veneer. Maya kept her expression neutral as she relayed the situation to Earth Command. Within hours, the Valerian emissaries were meeting with Earth's United Leadership Council in Geneva, and humanity was facing the reality that they were not alone in the universe. 3 months after first contact, Maya found herself reassigned as military liaison to the Valerian exchange program. The aliens had established an embassy in Geneva and smaller outposts in 6 other major cities. Their arrival had initially caused panic, but their consistent message of peaceful exchange had gradually calmed humanity's fears. Maya, however, remained wary. "The comprehensive species assessment has been completed," Calix announced during the weekly coordination meeting. The alien's perfect posture never wavered as he addressed the assembled human representatives. "Earth has been classified as a Category 3 civilization with minimal threat potential." Maya noted how several diplomats shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The classification sounded more like a zoological categorization than a diplomatic assessment. "What exactly does that mean for our relationship moving forward?" asked Dr. Abrams, Earth's chief scientific liaison. "It means we can proceed with limited technological and cultural exchange," Calix explained. "Your species poses no significant threat to galactic stability, which allows for more open interaction under Commonwealth protocols." Later that evening, Maya met with her old friend and former crewmate, Dr. Sanjay Patel, in a small cafe far from the Valerian embassy. As one of Earth's foremost xenobiologists, Sanjay had been working closely with the Valerian scientific team. "They're treating us like clever children," Maya said, keeping her voice low despite the privacy screen they'd activated. "This minimal threat classification feels deliberate, like they want us to know our place." Sanjay stirred his coffee thoughtfully. "I've noticed something strange in their behavior, Maya. The Valerians are meticulous record keepers, documenting everything about us, our biology, psychology, technology, culture. But whenever I ask about their own civilization, they deflect or provide only superficial information." "What are they hiding?" Maya wondered. "I don't know, but I've managed to gather some data on their communication patterns." Sanjay slid a small data chip across the table. They maintain constant contact with their fleet, every 8 hours like clockwork, except yesterday there was a 3-minute delay in their standard check-in. When I mentioned it casually, my Valerian counterpart looked afraid. Maya pocketed the chip. 3 minutes doesn't seem significant. For a species that values precision the way they do, it's practically an eternity. 6 months into the exchange program, Earth had received carefully selected technological advancements, more efficient solar energy collection, improved water, purification systems, and medical knowledge that had already begun to extend human lifespans. Nothing that could be weaponized, Maya noted. Nothing that would change Earth's minimal threat status. She had just finished reviewing security protocols at the North American Valerian compound when Lieutenant Rivera called with unusual news. "Captain, we've detected anomalous energy signatures at the edge of our solar system," he reported. "Similar to the distortion that preceded the Valerians' arrival, but different somehow." "Have you alerted the Valerians?" "That's just it, Captain. According to our monitoring system, they already know. Their communications network lit up like a Christmas tree the moment our sensors detected the anomaly. They're scrambling." Maya frowned. "Forward the data to my secure terminal. And Rivera, keep this between us for now." That evening, Maya accessed the Valerian communication logs that Sanjay had been secretly collecting. The frequency of their transmissions to the home fleet had increased exponentially in the past 12 hours, and the encryption had become more complex. A soft chime from her terminal indicated an incoming call. Director Hassan from Earth Intelligence. "Captain Chen, we need you at Geneva immediately," he said without preamble. 3 Valerian ships just entered our solar system. They're heavily damaged and requesting emergency assistance." "The Valerians have ships in distress? What happened?" "They're claiming navigation errors resulting in meteor collisions, but preliminary scans suggest weapon damage." Hassan's expression was grim. "Something's happening out there, Captain. Something the Valerians didn't prepare us for." The emergency meeting in Geneva included only Earth's highest-ranking officials and military leaders. High Emissary Calix stood before them, his usually immaculate appearance now slightly disheveled. The subtle iridescence of his skin had dulled the eye. "Vessels that arrived are routine patrol ships," Calix explained, his melodic voice slightly strained. "They encountered spatial anomalies that damaged their systems. We appreciate Earth's assistance in their repair." "With all due respect, Emissary," Maya interjected, "our scans indicate weapon signatures on the hull damage. Those ships were in combat." A flicker of something, annoyance, fear, crossed Calix's features before his diplomatic mask returned. "Your scanning technology is impressive but may misinterpret certain energy patterns. I assure you there is no cause for concern." General Williams, the grizzled head of Earth's unified military command, leaned forward. "Then you won't object to our engineers assisting with repairs, as a gesture of our continued cooperation?" "That won't be necessary," Calix replied too quickly. "Our repair protocols involve proprietary technologies." After the Valerian delegation departed, the room erupted in tense discussion. "They're lying," General Williams stated flatly. "Obviously," agreed the European Union president. "But about what? And why?" Maya stepped forward. "Permission to lead a covert investigation into the damaged Valerian vessels, sir. If they're facing a threat, we need to know what we might be dealing with." The UN Secretary-General nodded gravely. "Approved, but proceed with extreme caution, Captain. We can't afford to antagonize the only advanced alien civilization we know." "With respect, Madam Secretary," Maya replied, "we can't afford not to know what they're hiding either." 2 days later, Maya and a small team including Sanjay managed to get close enough to one of the damaged Valerian ships to deploy specialized drones developed from reverse-engineered alien technology. The drones were barely larger than insects and designed to bypass Valerian security systems by mimicking their own maintenance tech. What they discovered chilled Maya to the bone. "It's not just weapon damage," Sanjay explained as they reviewed the drone footage in a secure facility beneath Geneva. "There are signs of some kind of infestation. Look at these patterns. They're almost organic, spreading through the ship's systems." Maya studied the strange web-like structures that had formed within the ship's damaged sections. What could cause this? I don't know, but the Valyrians are terrified of it. Sanjay pulled up another image showing Valyrian crew members in sealed containment suits, systematically burning away the strange growth. They're quarantining affected areas and destroying anything contaminated. Before they could investigate further, alarms blared throughout the facility. Maya's comm unit lit up with urgent messages. All Valyrian outposts worldwide had suddenly gone into lockdown. No one was being allowed in or out. Captain Chen to the command center immediately, came General Williams' voice, tense with barely controlled urgency. When Maya arrived, the scene was one of controlled chaos. Military and intelligence personnel moved with purpose, but their expressions betrayed deep concern. We've lost all communication with the Valyrian home fleet, the general informed her. One moment there was normal transmission traffic, the next, nothing. Complete silence. Maya felt a cold dread settling in her stomach. What about our local Valyrian representatives? That's why I called you here, he replied, gesturing to the main screen. It showed live feeds from Valyrian compounds worldwide, where the aliens were hurriedly loading equipment onto small shuttlecraft. They're preparing to leave. All of them everywhere simultaneously without explanation or authorization. We need answers before they go anywhere, Maya said firmly. General Williams nodded grimly. Exactly why I've implemented Protocol Theta. No Valyrian vessels are permitted to leave Earth's atmosphere until we understand what's happening. On screens around the command center, Maya watched as Earth's military forces moved into position around Valyrian facilities worldwide. The message was clear. No one was leaving until they got answers. As if on cue, a priority communication came through. High Emissary Calix requested an immediate audience with Earth's Leadership Council. Tell him we'll meet, Maya said. But this time, we're setting the terms. The countdown to confrontation had begun, and Maya couldn't shake the feeling that whatever had the mighty Valyrians running scared was already on its way to Earth. The silent fall, the Geneva International Conference Center had been transformed into a fortress. Armed guards stood at every entrance and advanced scanning systems, some of human design, others reverse-engineered from Valyrian technology, monitored for any threats. In the central chamber, High Emissary Calix faced Earth's Security Council. The alien's usual composure had crumbled. His skin had lost its luminescent quality, appearing dull and ashen. We must depart immediately, Calix insisted, his melodic voice now strained. For your safety as well as ours, Captain Maya Chen stepped forward, her military uniform a stark contrast to the diplomatic attire of those around her. No one is leaving until you tell us what's happening. Your ships were attacked, your homeworld has gone silent, and now you're running. What are you not telling us, emissary? Calix's large eyes darted around the room as if searching for escape. Finally, his shoulders slumped in defeat. It is called the consuming silence, he said quietly. We first encountered it at the edges of Commonwealth space approximately 2 of your Earth years ago. We thought it was merely a communications disruption at first, outposts and ships going quiet. We sent investigators. They never returned. Though room remained deathly still as Calix continued. Eventually, we recovered data from an affected world. The population was still there, still alive, but changed. Their consciousness, their individuality, gone, replaced by something else. Something that spread through our neural link technology and into the minds of those connected to it. Oh, techno-organic parasite? Suggested Dr. Patel, who stood beside Maya. Something far worse, Calix replied. It doesn't just infect technology or biology, it consumes consciousness itself. It spreads through any form of connection, technological, biological, even psychic. Our civilization is built on connectivity, on the instantaneous sharing of information across vast distances. This made us vulnerable. And Earth? General Williams asked, his weathered face grave. Where do we fit into this? Calix turned to face him. When we discovered the silence, our scientists began searching for potential countermeasures. We found references in ancient records to a species with unusual neural patterns. A species whose minds naturally resisted certain forms of intrusion. We launched search missions and eventually we found you. Maya's eyes narrowed. So the minimal threat classification was a lie? Not entirely, Calix admitted. Your technology poses no threat to us. But your minds, your uniquely chaotic, individualistic human consciousness, those potentially represent the greatest threat the silence has ever encountered. A heavy silence fell over the room as the implications sank in. You used us, Maya said finally. You brought alien technology to Earth, knowing this threat might follow. We isolated your systems from our main network precisely to protect you, Calix countered, a flash of his old authority returning. We shared only technologies that would not create pathways for the silence. The UN Secretary General raised a hand for silence. What exactly happened to your homeworld, emissary? Calix's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. 3 days ago, we received a final transmission from the Commonwealth Central Coordination Hub. It contained only 2 phrases. The silence has fallen. Trust no one. Before anyone could respond, an urgent message came through on the command center's communication system. General Williams, this is Orbital Defense Station Alpha. The damaged Valerian vessels in our orbit, they're powering up weapons systems and have severed all communication. They're targeting Earth's major population centers. Maya raced through the corridors of Earth Defense Command, barking orders into her comm unit. Around her, military personnel scrambled to battle stations. Deploy all orbital defense platforms, she commanded. Target the Valerian vessel's weapon systems only. We need to disable, not destroy. Captain, Lieutenant Rivera's voice came through her comm. Our weapon systems may not be effective against their shielding. We've only studied their defensive technology, not how to defeat it. Use what Dr. Patel discovered from the drone. Footage, Maya replied. Those organic-looking infiltrations in their hull. Target those areas specifically. They're already compromised. The next 30 minutes passed in a blur of tactical decisions and desperate maneuvers. Earth's defense forces, equipped with some reverse-engineered Valerian technology, managed to disable 2 of the 3 attacking vessels. The third crashed into the Atlantic Ocean after sustaining critical damage. In the aftermath, Maya and Dr. Patel led a heavily armed team to examine the wreckage recovered from the ocean. They wore specially designed isolation suits, taking no chances with potential infection. The ship's systems are unlike anything the Valerians shared with us, Sanjay noted as he studied the twisted metal and strange web-like growths spreading throughout the vessel. These connections, they've been modified. It's as if the ship itself was being transformed into something else. Maya carefully approached what appeared to be a Valerian crew member. The alien was dead, but strange metallic filaments had erupted from its skin, connecting it physically to the ship's systems. Look at its eyes, she said quietly. Where the characteristic almond-shaped eyes of a Valerian should have been luminous and clear, these were clouded with a dark, swirling mass that seemed to move with purpose even in death. It's still active, Sanjay whispered, his scanner detecting faint energy signatures. Whatever this is, death doesn't stop it. A containment team quickly secured the remains, following the strictest quarantine protocols developed for unknown biological threats. Back at Defense Command, High Emissary Calix and the remaining Valerian representatives had been placed under protective custody. Maya found Calix staring out a window at Earth's horizon, his expression unreadable. The ships that attacked us, Maya said without preamble. They were infected with the silence, weren't they? Calix nodded slowly. It appears so. They must have been compromised before they arrived in your system. I am sorry, Captain. We truly believed we could contain this threat before it reached Earth. We found something in the wreckage, Maya continued. The silence. It remains active even after the host dies. It's still trying to spread. Calix turned to her, alarm evident in his features. You must destroy everything completely, leave nothing intact. We need to study it if we're going to fight it, Maya countered. You don't understand, Calix insisted, genuine fear in his voice. The Commonwealth had thousands of years of advanced technology and billions of the brightest minds across hundreds of worlds. We failed to stop it. What makes you think humans can succeed where we could not? Maya met his gaze steadily. Because you said it yourself. Our minds are different. And now, we need to know exactly how. 1 week later, Earth had transformed. Military forces worldwide had mobilized, and civilians were being evacuated from coastal cities to more defensible inland locations. The remaining Valerians worked alongside human scientists, sharing everything they knew about the silence. In a secure facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Maya watched as Dr. Patel conducted tests on volunteer human subjects, measuring their neurological responses to carefully isolated fragments of the recovered silence technology. It's remarkable, Sanjay said, reviewing the results. The silence attempts to establish connections between neurons using these quantum filaments, but human brains actively resist the intrusion. Our neural pathways are too unpredictable. Can we weaponize this resistance? General Williams asked bluntly. Perhaps, replied Dr. Arjun Kapoor, Earth's leading expert in quantum physics. But I have a more radical proposal. He brought up a holographic display showing the Valerian quantum communication network. The silence spreads through connections, technological, biological, psychic. It infects one node and uses that to reach others. The more organized and interconnected a system is, the more vulnerable it becomes. And humans are notoriously disorganized, Maya said, beginning to understand. Dr. Kapoor nodded. Exactly. Our chaotic, individualistic nature, the very thing the Valerians found primitive, might be our salvation. I propose we develop a counter-infection, a quantum algorithm based on human neural patterns that introduces controlled chaos into organized systems. Fighting fire with fire, General Williams mused. More like fighting a perfect crystal with a sandstorm, Dr. Kapoor corrected. We can't beat the silence through greater order. That only makes its job easier. We need to disrupt its patterns with unpredictability. The plan was audacious and desperate. But with the Valerians' help, Earth scientists worked around the clock to develop what they called cognitive chaos protocol. Using isolated Valerian technology and human neural patterns as a template, they created a quantum virus designed to fragment the organized patterns that the silence used to spread. 3 weeks into development, their efforts gained new urgency when long-range sensors detected multiple space-time distortions forming at the edge of the solar system. The silence was coming. The day of confrontation arrived sooner than anyone had hoped. The cognitive chaos protocol was only partially tested when massive ships emerged from fold space near Mars. Unlike the elegant Valerian vessels, these were twisted monstrosities, once beautiful ships now corrupted with organic mechanical growths that pulsed with malevolent energy. All defense platforms online, Maya ordered from the command center. Prepare to deploy the protocol on my mark. Kallik stood beside her, watching the approaching ships with dread. There are too many. Those are Commonwealth dreadnoughts, the most powerful vessels in our fleet. Then it's a good thing they're not facing the Commonwealth, Maya replied grimly. They're facing humanity. Earth's combined defenses launched a coordinated attack, not to destroy the infected vessels but to create weaknesses in their systems, entry points for the cognitive chaos protocol. Specialized drones designed to penetrate Valerian shielding carried the quantum virus directly to the ship's central processors. The battle was fierce and desperate. 2 of Earth's orbital defense stations were destroyed, and a third critically damaged. Silence-infected weapons fire reached Earth's surface, devastating portions of 3 continents. Millions of lives hung in the balance as the infected ships pressed their attack. Then something unexpected happened. The first infected dreadnought to receive the full cognitive chaos protocol began to move erratically. Its weapon systems fired randomly, sometimes hitting other infected vessels. Within minutes, the ship's cohesive attack pattern dissolved into disorganized, contradictory maneuvers. It's working, Dr. Kapoor exclaimed, monitoring the data streams. The protocol is disrupting the silence's control patterns. One by one, the infected ships began to falter as the quantum virus spread through their connected systems. introducing human-patterned chaos into their perfectly ordered infection network. The attacks became disjointed, uncoordinated. Maya turned to Kalex, whose expression had transformed from despair to astonishment. This is our chance. If we can recover one of these ships intact enough, we might be able to trace the infection back to its source. You want to counterattack? Kalex asked incredulously. To take the fight to the silence? That's exactly what I want, Maya confirmed. Your people classified us as a minimal threat because we lacked your technology and organization. But what the Silence and the Commonwealth failed to understand is that our greatest strength lies in our apparent weakness. Over the next several hours, Earth's forces managed to capture one of the smaller infected vessels. Teams of scientists and military specialists, protected by specially designed isolation systems, secured the ship and began adapting the cognitive chaos protocol for offensive deployment. 2 months later, a joint human-Valerian expedition prepared to depart the solar system. Their mission? To locate any surviving Commonwealth outposts and begin the long, dangerous work of reclaiming infected territory. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge of the newly commissioned Earth vessel, Humanity's Hope. Beside her stood Kalex, now the appointed liaison for the Valerian survivors who had joined Earth's cause. The Commonwealth spanned thousands of worlds, Kalex said quietly. Most are likely lost to the silence already. Then we'll start with one, Maya replied, her gaze fixed on the stars ahead. And then another. However long it takes. As the ship prepared to enter fold space, Maya reflected on the irony of their situation. The mighty Valerian Commonwealth had fallen to the silence precisely because of its greatest strengths. Its perfect organization, its seamless connectivity, its unified purpose. Meanwhile, Earth, chaotic, divided, stubbornly individualistic, Earth had survived because of what the Valerians had perceived as weaknesses. Ready to depart, Captain, Lieutenant Rivera reported. Maya nodded. Take us out. Let's show the galaxy what a minimal threat can really do. The Humanity's Hope entered fold space, carrying with it the hopes of 2 civilizations and a weapon born from humanity's greatest gift, the beautiful chaos of the individual human mind. Behind them, Earth prepared for what might come. The planet, that had once been classified as harmless, was now the front line in a war for the soul of the galaxy, and humanity was ready to fight.